Picture this: rockets blasting into space and virtual reality headsets taking over the world. 2 billionaires are behind it all. 2 totally different visions. And one big question: who's going to shape your future? Is it the space cowboy, Elon Musk, or the virtual world wizard, Mark Zuckerberg? Welcome back to Learn English with Stories 365. Let's dive in. Did you know Elon Musk once slept in his office for 3 whole years just to save time? Crazy, right? Or how about this? Mark Zuckerberg coded Facebook while wearing pajamas for weeks. These guys don't mess around. Now, imagine this. Musk says he wants to die on Mars someday. Yep, Mars. But Zuckerberg, he wants us all living in virtual reality. So, which future sounds better to you? Rockets or headsets? Here's something they have in common. Both of them dropped out of PhD programs to chase their wild dreams. But here's where they split. Musk is all about real-world tech, like rockets and electric cars, while Zuck builds digital worlds, like social media and VR. By the end of this video, you're going to decide, is the future written in stardust or computer code? Stick with me, because this is going to be a fun ride. Part 1. The Highlight Reel. Let's jump right into the good stuff. These 2 guys didn't just make a ton of money, they changed history. We're talking about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, 2 names you've probably heard before. Their greatest hits are so inspiring, they'll make you want to dream big too. So, let's start with Elon Musk. This guy is a total legend. Did you know he taught himself rocket science just by reading textbooks while he was on vacation? That's right. He didn't even go to school for it. He just picked up some books and figured it out. How wild is that? And what he's done with that knowledge is even crazier. He started SpaceX, a company that builds reusable rockets. That means they can go to space, come back, and fly again, saving money and making space travel more possible. Then there's Tesla, his electric car company. Those cars don't need gas. They run on batteries, and they're helping make the planet cleaner. Oh, and don't forget Neuralink. That's his project to put tiny chips in people's brains to connect them to computers. It sounds like science fiction, but Musk is making it real. One of my favorite things he's said is this: when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds aren't in your favor. That's the kind of attitude that pushes him to do things no one else dares to try. He's not afraid to take risks, and that's why he's revolutionized the way we think about space and technology. Now, let's switch gears to Mark Zuckerberg. This guy's story is just as amazing. Here's a surprising fact for you. Zuck learned to speak Mandarin, the Chinese language, just so he could talk to his wife's family. And get this, he once did a whole 1-hour interview in Mandarin. That takes some serious dedication. His big win, of course, is Facebook. Today, it has over 3 billion users. That's almost half the planet connected through one website. He didn't stop there, though. With his company Meta, he's building virtual reality worlds where people can work, play, and hang out using VR headsets. Imagine putting on a headset and feeling like you're in a totally different place. That's what Zuck is working on. Plus, he's done something really kind with Internet.org. That's his project to bring free internet to poor countries so everyone can get online. Pretty cool, right? One of his famous quotes is, "Move fast and break things. Unless you're breaking stuff, you're not moving fast enough." That's his way of saying you've got to take big swings and not be afraid to mess up. He's all about connecting people and disrupting the old ways of doing things, and that's why he's a pioneer in the digital world. Both of these guys have done things that totally shake up the world. Musk has revolutionized space travel and cars with SpaceX and Tesla. Zuckerberg has changed how we connect with Facebook and Meta. They're both pioneers, people who lead the way into new ideas. Musk's work is sustainable, meaning it helps the Earth last longer, like with his electric cars. Zuckerberg's all about connecting people, bringing the world closer together through social media and the internet. And they both disrupt things. They break the old rules to make something better. Musk likes to say he wants to push the boundaries of what's possible. That's his mission, to go beyond what anyone thinks can be done. Zuck, on the other hand, says his goal is to bring the world closer together. He wants us all to feel like one big community, no matter where we live. So, how did these two college dropouts become tech gods? Their stories are full of surprises, hard work, and a little bit of chaos. Think about it. Neither of them finished their PhD programs. They could have stayed in school, gotten fancy degrees, and lived normal lives. But instead, they took a chance on their crazy ideas. Musk went from sleeping in his office to launching rockets into space. Zuckerberg went from coding in his pajamas to running a company that connects billions of people. It's almost hard to believe they started so small and ended up so big. Their paths are different. Sure, Musk is out there building things you can touch, like cars and rockets, while Zuck is creating digital spaces you can step into with a headset. But one thing's the same. They both dreamed bigger than anyone else. So, how did they get here? Let's rewind their stories and find out where it all began. Get ready, because next, we're going back to Elon Musk's early days. Part 2. Background of Elon Musk. Elon Musk's story starts far away from the shiny rockets and fast cars we know him for today. He was born in South Africa, a country with beautiful landscapes, but also some tough challenges. As a kid, things weren't easy for him. He got bullied a lot at school, which made him feel pretty lonely. But even back then, he was super smart and curious. At just 12 years old, he did something amazing. He made his own video game. It wasn't some big fancy game like we have now, but he coded it all by himself and even sold it for a little money. That's when you could see he was already an entrepreneur, someone who loves starting new things and taking risks. He didn't just sit around. He had big dreams and wanted to make them happen. When he was 17, Elon decided to leave South Africa. He wanted to see more of the world and chase bigger opportunities. So, he emigrated to Canada. That means he moved to a whole new country to start fresh. He didn't have much money, and life was tough at first. He worked odd jobs like cleaning out grain bins just to get by, but he kept pushing forward. Soon, he made his way to the United States to study at university. That's where his ideas really started to grow. After college, he jumped into the business world. His first big move was starting a company called Zip2. It was a website that helped newspapers go online, and it made him a millionaire when he sold it. Then came PayPal, which used to be called X.com. That was a huge hit. It let people send money online easily, and when it sold, Elon made even more cash. But he wasn't done. His real dream was something way bigger: space. So, he started SpaceX, a company to build rockets and take humans to places like Mars. Can you imagine that? He went from a bullied kid to a guy trying to put people on another planet. SpaceX wasn't easy, though. The company almost went bankrupt a few times. Bankruptcy is when you run out of money and have to shut down. Elon put almost all his own cash into it to keep it alive. He once said, "Failing is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough." That's his way of saying it's okay to mess up as long as you're trying something new. And boy, did he try! SpaceX built rockets that could come back to Earth and land, which no one had done before. Now, they're launching satellites and even astronauts into space. His big goal? A Mars colony. He wants humans to live on Mars someday, maybe even whole cities up there. He's got this cool saying, "Shoot for the stars. Even if you miss, you'll land on the moon." It means aim super high. And even if you don't get all the way, you'll still do something great. Here's a wild story for you. Did you know Musk almost sold Tesla, his electric car company, to Google back in 2013? Tesla was in big trouble then. They weren't selling enough cars, and the company was losing money fast. Elon made a deal to sell it for $11 billion. But at the very last minute, he changed his mind. He believed Tesla could still work, and he was right. Today, Tesla's one of the most valuable car companies in the world. That's classic Elon, taking huge risks and betting on himself. He's not afraid to dream about rocketry, the science of building rockets, or crazy ideas like living on Mars. He even works insane hours, sometimes sleeping at his factories to make sure everything goes right. Elon's journey is full of ups and downs. He started as a kid who loved books and computers in South Africa. He got picked on, but he didn't let that stop him. He moved across the world, started businesses, and kept going even when things got really hard. From selling a little video game at 12 to almost going broke with SpaceX, he's always been about pushing forward. Now, he's known for SpaceX, Tesla, and wild ideas like a Mars colony. It's not just about money for him. It's about changing the world. His story shows that being an entrepreneur isn't always smooth. But if you keep trying, you can do something huge. So, that's Elon Musk's background. Next up, we're flipping the script to see where Mark Zuckerberg came from. Get ready for another wild ride. Part 3. Background of Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg's story is all about a kid who loved computers and turned that love into something massive. He was born in New York, in the United States, and from a young age, you could tell he was a prodigy, a super talented person who's great at something. When he was just 12, he started coding, which means writing instructions for computers. He made a little program called ZuckNet, so his family could send messages to each other at home. It was like their own mini version of the internet. His dad even used it at his dentist office to talk to his staff. That's pretty cool for a kid, right? Mark didn't stop there. When he was 17, still in high school, he created something called Synapse. It was an AI tool, artificial intelligence, that learned what kind of music people liked and made playlists for them. Big companies like Microsoft wanted to buy it, but Mark said no. He wasn't in it just for money. He wanted to build something bigger. After high school, Mark went to Harvard University, one of the best schools in the world. But he didn't stay long. He was too busy coding and dreaming up new ideas. While he was there, he made a website called FaceMash. It was a fun little project where students could vote on photos of their classmates to say who was more attractive. Sounds harmless, right? Well, not quite. Mark didn't ask permission to use those photos, and it got him in big trouble with the school. They almost kicked him out, but that didn't slow him down. In 2004, he launched something way bigger from his dorm room, Facebook. At first, it was just for Harvard students to connect with each other online. They could share photos, talk about their lives, and make friends. But it grew fast. Soon it spread to other schools, then to everyone. Mark dropped out of Harvard to focus on it full-time. He was only 19, and he was already changing the world. Facebook took off like a rocket. Mark had this idea to move fast and break things, which became his famous phrase. It means don't wait around. Build stuff quickly, even if it's messy or you make mistakes. And that's exactly what he did. He turned Facebook into a place where people could share anything. Photos, thoughts, even silly videos. Today, it's got over 3 billion users. That's insane! But running Facebook wasn't always smooth. There were scandals, times when things went wrong. People got mad because Mark didn't always protect their privacy, which is keeping personal stuff safe online. Some said he cared more about growing fast than doing things right. One time, he even said something pretty harsh. A squirrel dying in your front yard is more relevant than people dying in Africa. That was an old quote from Facebook's early days, and it got him a lot of heat. He was trying to say Facebook should focus on what's close to you, but it came out sounding cold. Still, he kept going, learning from those mistakes. Now, Mark's got his eyes on something new, the metaverse. That's like a big virtual reality world where you can work, play, and live through a headset. He started a company called Meta to make it happen. Imagine putting on glasses and feeling like you're in a different place, meeting friends, or going to a digital office. That's his next big dream. He's using algorithms, smart computer rules, to build it all. But Mark's not just about tech. He's into philanthropy, too, which means giving money to help others. He and his wife promised to give away most of their wealth to make the world better, like fixing health problems or helping kids learn. That's a softer side of him not everyone sees. Mark's journey is wild when you think about it. He started as a coding prodigy, making little programs as a kid. He could have stayed safe and finished Harvard, but he took a risk and dropped out. From a dorm room, he built Facebook into a giant that connects billions of people. Sure, there were bumps, like privacy scandals and that face smash trouble, but he kept moving fast. Now, he's betting on the metaverse to change how we live again. One of his favorite sayings is, "The biggest risk is not taking any risk." That's Mark in a nutshell. He's not afraid to try big things, even if they might fail. From a 12-year-old coder to a tech billionaire, his story is all about chasing ideas and breaking the rules. So, that's Mark Zuckerberg's background. Next, we're going to compare their visions for the future. Get ready for Mars versus the metaverse. Part 4. Vision for the Future. Now it's time to look at where these two billionaires want to take us. Their visions for the future. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg see the world so differently, and that's what makes this so fun to explore. Let's start with Musk. His big dream is all about interplanetary life. That's a fancy word that means living on other planets, not just Earth. He's obsessed with Mars. He wants to build cities there, actual places where people can live, work, and maybe even have families someday. Imagine waking up, looking out your window, and seeing red dirt and 2 tiny moons in the sky. That's what Musk is chasing. He's got SpaceX working on giant rockets to get us there. But it's not just about Mars for him. He's also worried about Earth. He thinks we need solutions for the climate crisis, things like global warming that hurt our planet. That's why Tesla makes electric cars and solar panels. Musk wants to save Earth, while also giving us a backup plan on Mars. He once said, "Earth is the cradle of humanity, but you can't stay in the cradle forever." That's his way of saying we need to grow up, leave home, and explore the stars. It's a bold, real-world vision you can almost touch. Then there's Mark Zuckerberg, and his future looks totally different. He's all about virtual reality life. Instead of leaving Earth, he wants to change how we live on it with something called the metaverse. Picture this. You put on a headset, and suddenly you're in a digital world. You've got an avatar, like a cartoon version of yourself, and you can hang out with friends, go to work, or even play games, all without leaving your room. Zuck's company, Meta, is building this right now. He thinks the metaverse is the next big thing after phones and computers. Imagine having a meeting with people from all over the world, but it feels like you're sitting in the same room. Or maybe you're exploring a fake jungle with dinosaurs just for fun. That's his vision, a simulation where anything's possible. He says, the metaverse is the next frontier. For him, it's not about going to new planets, but about making a new kind of space right here. It's all digital, all in your head, but it could feel so real. So, let's break this down. Musk is looking up at the sky, dreaming of interplanetary adventures. He wants us to pack our bags, hop on a rocket, and start a new life on Mars. His ideas are huge and physical. Rockets blasting off, cars zipping around without gas, machines fighting the climate crisis. It's about getting out there and building stuff you can see and feel. Innovation for him means inventing things that change the real world, like reusable rockets or brain chips. He's betting on humans spreading out across the solar system. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg is looking at a screen, imagining a virtual escape. His metaverse isn't about leaving Earth. It's about transforming it into something new. You don't need a rocket. You just need a headset. His innovation is in code and algorithms, creating digital places where your avatar can live a second life. It's less about fixing the climate and more about connecting people in ways we've never tried before. Which one sounds cooler to you? Musk's vision is wild and out there, literally. He's got this sci-fi vibe going, with spaceships and Martian cities. It's risky, though. What if the rockets fail, or Mars is too hard to live on? But if he pulls it off, it could be the biggest adventure in human history. Zuck's metaverse is closer to home. You could step into it tomorrow if the tech's ready. It's exciting to think about hanging out with friends in a virtual beach house or working in a digital office with no commute. But it's got risks, too. What if people get lost in that simulation and forget the real world? Both guys are pushing innovation hard, just in totally different directions. Musk wants to solve big problems like climate change with real machines. Zuck wants to build a new reality where we can escape or connect. Their visions clash in the best way. Musk is reaching for the stars, literally, while Zuckerberg is diving into our minds. One's about exploring space, the other's about creating space. Both are crazy ambitious, and both could change everything. So, what do you think? Would you rather live in a dusty Mars colony or a shiny virtual world? Musk and Zuck are betting on their ideas, and they're racing to make them real. Next, we'll check out how they lead their teams, because their styles are just as different as their dreams. Part 5. Leadership Style. Let's talk about how these two billionaires run the show, because Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg couldn't lead more differently. First up, Musk. People call him a chaotic genius, and once you hear about his style, you'll see why. He's the kind of boss who doesn't follow the usual rules. Picture this. He's been known to fire employees over email, no warning, just a quick message, and they're gone. That's pretty intense, right? He's not afraid to shake things up if he thinks it'll get results. And then there's his wild side. He loves tweeting memes at 3 a.m., like funny pictures or jokes that make people laugh or scratch their heads. One time, he tweeted about Tesla in a way that got him in hot water with the government. He's unpredictable, and that chaos seems to fuel him. He once said, "I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to get things done." That sums him up perfectly. He's all about pushing forward, even if it means stepping on toes or breaking a few things along the way. He works insane hours, too, sometimes sleeping at his factories to keep projects on track. It's like he's a tornado of energy, spinning through SpaceX and Tesla, making big moves fast. Now, flip the script to Mark Zuckerberg. His leadership style is the opposite. He's more like a data-driven robot. That's what some people call him because he's so calm and logical. Zuck doesn't fire people over random emails or tweet memes in the middle of the night. Instead, he sits back, looks at the numbers, and makes decisions based on data. Data is like information. Think charts, stats, and facts. For example, when he's figuring out what to do with Facebook or Meta, he'll check how many people are using it, what they like, and what's working. Then he picks the smartest move. It's all about the algorithm, those clever computer rules that crunch numbers and predict stuff. He's super steady, not loud or wild. Even when he talks, he's quiet and careful, almost like he's thinking 3 steps ahead. His famous line is, "In a world that's changing quickly, the only strategy guaranteed to fail is not taking risks." That sounds bold, but he takes risks in a planned way, not a chaotic one. He's the guy who keeps his cool while everything's shifting around him. So, let's compare these two. Musk's leadership is like a roller coaster. Fast, crazy, and full of twists. He's the boss who might call you at midnight with a new idea, or send a meme to the whole team just because he's feeling it. That chaos can be exciting. It's how he gets SpaceX rockets off the ground or Tesla cars on the road so fast. But it's not always easy for his teams. People say working for him is intense, and some burn out from the pace. He doesn't care much about transparency, meaning he doesn't always explain what he's doing. He just charges ahead and expects everyone to keep up. Zuck, though, he's more like a chess player. Every move is thought out, based on data and logic. He's not tweeting memes or firing people on a whim. He's building systems like algorithms to make Meta and Facebook run smoothly. That can feel safer for his employees. But some say it's too cold, like he's more machine than human. He's big on transparency in his own way, though, sharing plans and goals so everyone knows the direction. Which style do you think works better? Musk's chaotic genius gets stuff done fast. He's the guy who'll push a team to launch a rocket even if it's risky. And when it works, it's amazing. But when it flops, it's a mess. Zuck's data-driven approach is slower, but steadier. He's not rushing. He's testing, learning, and fixing. That's how Facebook grew so huge without crashing. Musk might inspire you with his wild energy, while Zuck keeps things under control with his calm vibe. Both are leaders who take risks, just in their own ways. Musk's chaos is loud and in your face. Think late-night tweets and big bets on Mars. Zuck's risks are quieter. Think metaverse plans built step by step with data to back them up. Their styles match their goals too. Musk's rushing to the stars, so he leads like time's running out. Zuck's crafting a digital world, so he's patient and precise. Neither one's perfect. Chaos can scare people off, and too much data can feel boring. But both get results. So, what do you think? Would you rather work for the tornado or the calculator? Next, we'll dive into how the world sees them, because their public images are just as different. Part 6. Public Image. Let's dive into how the world sees these two billionaires, because Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have totally different vibes in the public's eyes. First up, Musk. People often call him a mad scientist, and it's easy to see why. He's got this wild, unpredictable energy that keeps everyone talking. 1 minute, he's launching rockets with SpaceX, and the next, he's stirring up drama on Twitter. Oh, Twitter! He loves it. He's tweeted some crazy stuff, like joking about buying Coca-Cola or saying weird things about aliens. Sometimes it's just funny memes, but other times it gets him in trouble. Like when he tweeted about Tesla's stock and got sued. That's classic Musk, controversial and bold. People either love him or think he's nuts. He's super open about his ideas, which feels authentic, like he's just being himself. He once said, "I'm just trying to think about the future and not be sad." That's kind of sweet, right? It shows he's this dreamer who wants to fix big problems, even if he comes off a little crazy. Fans see him as a genius pushing humanity forward with Mars and electric cars. But critics, they say he's reckless, always starting fights online or promising stuff he can't deliver. Now, switch to Mark Zuckerberg. His public image is way different. People call him a robot in a hoodie. Why? Because he's so calm and serious, almost like he's not human sometimes. You won't catch Zuck tweeting wild memes at 3 a.m. He's more buttoned up, wearing that same gray hoodie every day like it's his uniform. But his image has taken some hits because of scandals. Remember Facebook's privacy messes? People got mad when they found out their personal info wasn't safe, like when data got leaked to companies or politicians. It made Zuck look sneaky, even if he didn't mean to be. He's had to say sorry a bunch of times in front of the U.S. government, sitting there all stiff and awkward. That's where the robot thing comes from. He doesn't show much emotion. His big line is, "We're here to connect the world, not just build an app." He wants people to see him as someone bringing everyone together with Facebook and the metaverse. Some love that mission, but others don't trust him after those scandals. They think he's too focused on power, not transparency, meaning he doesn't always tell the full story. So, how do these images stack up? Musk's mad scientist vibe is loud and messy. He's out there on Twitter, sharing every thought, whether it's a genius idea or a total goof. That authenticity makes him feel real, like you could grab a coffee with him and talk about Mars. But it also means drama follows him everywhere. One day, he's a hero for landing a rocket. The next, he's the bad guy for some weird tweet. Zuck's robot in a hoodie image is quieter but trickier. He doesn't cause Twitter storms. He's too careful for that. Instead, his trouble comes from behind the scenes, like those privacy scandals. He tries to seem transparent by explaining Facebook's goals, but people still wonder what he's hiding. Musk's controversies are in your face. Zuck's sneak up on you. Which image do you vibe with more? Musk feels like a rock star. Big, bold, and a little nuts. He's the guy you cheer for when a Tesla zooms by, or a SpaceX launch lights up the sky. But you might roll your eyes when he tweets something dumb. Zuck's more like the quiet kid in class who surprises you, building something huge like Facebook, but then tripping over scandals. His hoodie and calm voice make him seem relatable, yet distant. Musk's fans love his wild spirit. Zuck's fans admire his steady focus. Critics, though, they'll say Musk's too reckless and Zuck's too robotic. Both use memes in their own way. Musk posts them. Zuck becomes them when people joke about his stiff apologies. Their public images tie back to their goals too. Musk's mad scientist fits his crazy Mars dreams. He's got to be a little out there to pull that off. Zuck's robot vibe matches his metaverse plan. All calculated and digital. Neither one's perfect. Musk's drama can overshadow his wins, and Zuck's scandals dent his connect the world promise. But both keep us hooked, whether it's Musk's next tweet or Zuck's next VR demo. So, what do you think? Mad scientist or robot in a hoodie? Next, we'll switch gears to some English learning fun with these two. Part 7. English Learning Focus. Now it's time to have some fun with English while we talk about Musk and Zuckerberg. This part is all about learning, grabbing some cool grammar, picking up new words, and even practicing a little role play. Let's start with grammar, because these two guys give us perfect examples. First, there's something called the present perfect tense. We use it to talk about achievements that started in the past and still matter now. Take Elon Musk. He's done so much already. You could say, Musk has launched over 200 rockets with SpaceX. See that? Has launched tells us it's not just one time. It's a big deal that keeps going. Or how about Zuckerberg? Try this. Zuck has connected over 3 billion people with Facebook. That's present perfect, too. It shows his work started years ago, and it's still huge today. Practice it yourself. Say something like, I have watched this video to learn English. It's easy once you get the hang of it, and it makes you sound smart when you talk about what someone's done. Next, let's play with comparative adjectives. These are words we use to compare two things, and Musk and Zuck are perfect for this. Think about their personalities. You might say, Zuck is more reserved than Musk. That means Zuck's quieter, while Musk's out there being wild. Or try this. Musk is busier than Zuck with all his companies. See how we add or use more to compare. It's a fun way to talk about differences. Here's another one. SpaceX rockets are faster than Meta's VR tech. Okay, maybe that's not a real comparison, but you get the idea. You can use this every day, like, this video is more exciting than my homework. Give it a try. Compare two things you know, like your favorite foods or friends. It's a simple trick to make your English pop. Now, let's review some vocabulary we've heard about these guys. First up, revolutionized. That means changing something in a big, bold way. Musk revolutionized space travel with reusable rockets, and Zuck revolutionized how we talk online with Facebook. Next, there's algorithm. Those smart computer rules Zuck uses to make the metaverse work. Then we've got sustainable, like Musk's electric cars that help the planet last longer. How about disrupt. Both guys do this. They shake up the old ways, like Musk with cars or Zuck with social media. And finally, innovation. That's all about new ideas, and these two are kings of it. Try using these words yourself. Say something like, "I want to disrupt my routine with some innovation." It's fun to sound like a tech genius. Okay, here's the best part. A role-play scenario. Imagine you're pitching a tech idea to Musk or Zuck. You've got to sell it, so let's use some phrases we've learned. Pretend you're talking to Musk. You could say, "Mr. Musk, my idea will push the boundaries of what's possible. It's a robot that cleans Mars for your colony. It's sustainable and full of innovation." Or maybe you're pitching to Zuck. "Mr. Zuckerberg, my app will bring the world closer together. It's a VR game with algorithms to connect friends. It'll disrupt how we play." Picture yourself standing there, full of energy, trying to wow them. Musk might fire back with a crazy question, or Zuck might just nod and check the data. You could even add, "This has a global impact," to sound extra impressive. Try it out loud. Pretend you're in the room with them. It's a great way to practice speaking and feel confident. So, what do you think? Grammarlike has launched, tells their stories. Comparatives like more reserved show their differences, and words like revolutionized make you sound cool. Plus, that role play lets you step into their world. These tools aren't just for this video. You can use them anywhere. Talking about achievements, present perfect. Comparing stuff, throw in a or more. Want to impress someone? Drop disrupt or innovation into your chat. Musk and Zuck aren't just tech stars. They're your English teachers today. Practice a little, and you'll be chatting about the future like a pro. Next up, we're wrapping this all up with a quick conclusion. Stay tuned to pick your winner. Brief conclusion. All right, we've made it to the end of this epic showdown. Musk versus Zuckerberg. So, who wins the future? Here's the big twist. The answer is you. That's right. You're the real winner here. Why? Because these two billionaires are racing each other to make the world wilder, weirder, and way more exciting. Musk is blasting off to Mars, building electric cars, and dreaming of brain chips. Zuckerberg is coding the metaverse, connecting billions, and turning virtual reality into the next big thing. Their competition means faster innovation, new ideas popping up all the time, pushing tech to places we never imagined. Whether you're Team SpaceX or Team Meta, you get to enjoy the ride. Maybe one day you'll drive a Tesla to a launch pad, hop a rocket to Mars, then chill in the metaverse on the way there. How cool would that be? These guys aren't just fighting for bragging rights. They're building a future we all get to live in. Let's rewind for a second and soak it all in. Musk started as a kid coding games in South Africa, got bullied, but never gave up. Now he's the mad scientist launching rockets and tweeting memes. Zuckerberg was that quiet prodigy in New York, making programs at 12, then dropping out of Harvard to start Facebook in his dorm. Today, he's the robot in a hoodie, steering us toward a VR world. Their visions? Musk wants interplanetary cities and a cleaner Earth. Zuck wants avatars and digital hangouts. Their styles? Musk is chaotic, firing off ideas, and sometimes people, left and right. Zuck is calm, crunching data to make every move count. Public image? Musk's a wild card, loved and hated for his big swings. Zuck's steady but scarred by scandals. They're opposites in so many ways, but both are changing everything. And that's what makes this so fun. You've got two totally different flavors of the future to pick from. So, let's get you involved. This is your moment. If you're obsessed with space like Musk, smash that like button right now. Picture those rockets soaring. Doesn't that give you chills? Or maybe you're all about Zuck's metaverse. Drop a VR in the comments if you'd rather plug into a digital world. I want to hear from you. And hey, if you loved this ride through tech and English, hit subscribe for more stories like this. We've got tons of awesome tales coming your way. Next time, who knows? Maybe it'll be flying cars or robot buddies. This channel's all about learning and dreaming big. So stick with us. You're not just watching, you're part of the adventure. Before we bounce, let's think about a couple of questions. First, which quote lights you up more? Musk says, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds aren't in your favor." That's all about guts, going for it no matter what. Or there's Zuck with "move fast and break things." That's speed and risk, smashing the old to build the new. Which one gets your heart pumping? Maybe Musk's inspires you to chase a crazy dream, or Zuck's pushes you to leap without looking. Tell me in the comments. I'm dying to know. Second question. Would you rather live on Mars or in the metaverse? Mars is dusty, far, and real. Red rocks and starry skies. The metaverse is close, digital, and limitless. Your avatar could be anything. What's your pick, and why? Maybe Mars feels like freedom, or the metaverse sounds cozier. Spill your thoughts below. Let's dream together. This whole journey's been a blast, right? We've flown through Musk's rocket-fueled chaos and Zuck's pixel-perfect plans. We've learned English, too. Has launched for their wins. More chaotic to compare, and words like disrupt to sound slick. These guys are proof that big ideas can start small. Coding at 12, sleeping in offices, dropping out of school. Now they're shaping tomorrow, and you've got front row seats. So, no pressure to pick a winner. Musk and Zuck are both champs in their own wild ways. The real prize is what they're cooking up for us. Thanks for hanging out. Smash like, comment VR or Mars, and subscribe to Learn English with Stories 365 if you're ready for more. See you next time for another story that'll blow your mind.